Installing the Calade Tail Light and Backup Light system with the supplied harness is really pretty easy. Let me show you exactly what you need to know to get it installed on yours. First thing you want to do is you want to take the liner out of the trunk. So we open up the trunk here, there's a liner, there's a bottom part, and then there's a back and the sides is a second piece. There's Velcro that attaches the bottom to the back, and you want to take the bottom out first. So I like to start on one side, kind of undo it like that and fold it over. Same on the other side. You kind of fold it into the center and then lift the bottom lip up like that. It'll come out in one piece. So right here is where the Velcro is, and on the back side there's some here, so you just kind of reach in and pull that out. You can just set that aside for now. And then we're going to pull the back piece out, which I start on the sides, fold those in like this. And again, you fold the sides to the center. And there's the back wall liner. Set that aside too. So the next thing we got to do is drill a hole here and here for the wires to go through and locate that hole. Of course, we have a template. Let me show you how that works. So we got our template here, and it's a little bit tough to see, but there's a little pinhole in this template. This is going to be the center of where you're going to drill the hole. So we're going to line that up there and mark this. But first, I like to put some tape down the on the back side of this in that general area. Keeps the paint from chipping. So first thing you want to do is wipe this down, make sure it's nice and clean, because it's going to need to be super clean with no oils or waxes on there. And then we're going to take this tape. I'm just going to put a little bit here, overlap it a little bit, just in that general area, so that it covers about where that hole is. So there's that hole there, and you can see the tape's behind it. Now the next thing you want to do is, I like to use one of these little center punches. They're handy to have. Any hardware store has them to locate where the hole needs to be. We're going to tape this piece on nice and straight. I'm just going to use a piece of tape on the top and one on the bottom. And what we'll do is we're going to line this up toward, we get it in the bottom here. You want to line it up at the edge, just where the curve comes around and goes flat again. Just make that nice and straight, just about like that. Just tape it on the bottom, run your hand up like this, tape it on the top. Now that's ready to mark the hole. So we will do that. All right. With that hole marked, I'm going to take that off. And of course the other side, you can use the same template. I've already put some tape here. And just do the same process, making sure that that's lined up. Take that down there. Start at the bottom, roll up, double check, and then you can punch your hole here. Next, we're going to drill the hole. With the hole marked, we need to drill a pilot hole. We're going to use an 1/8 inch bit to do that, and then we're going to step it up to the 5/8 hole size with using a step drill like this. Now, before you drill, make sure you go inside of your trunk and make sure there's nothing on the other side of where you're going to be drilling, because it does make a little bit of a dusty mess. And of course, if you have something in there, you're going to drill a hole through it. So try not to do that. Don't ask me how I know. Now, using these step drills, you'll see right on it there's a the marked of the size of hole that you're going to be drilling. We just marked off where the 5/8 is to make it easier to find where it is. And if you drill slow, you won't be slinging things all over the place. And I like to go on the inside and clean up the edge to make sure that the wires don't get pinched anywhere. Okay, holes drilled. It's a good idea at this point just to grab a vacuum and vacuum up some of this dust. So I'm going to hit that quick. All right, we're going to pull this tape off in preparation to mount the light. Now, when you've drilled a hole through tape and you're on paint, little tip is if you hold it flat like this and pull it against it, you will not pull any of the paint off. It's be a nice clean edge. You see, it's a beautiful hole. I'm just going to give this one more wipe down, get any dust or anything that got on there while we were drilling out of it. We'll take our light, peel back the liner. So now we're going to feed the wiring through the hole. Making sure that wire goes through and sits where it's supposed to sit. Now we're going to line up, just like we did when we put the template on there. You want to line up that edge so it's nice and straight and even. And then spend a half a minute or so just kind of pushing on this, wiggle it a little bit, and that'll make sure you get full contact in there, and that also seals where the wiring hole goes through. There we go. Now you can just take a second and go, look at that, that looks cool. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we're going to move to the inside of the trunk, and I'll show you where we need to drill 2 holes to run the wiring up under the seat. So I've put some tape up in here to make it easy to see. Basically, if you kind of come along in the middle, make a mark down the middle and come off the side, a couple inches to each side, we're going to drill holes right here and right here. Again, we're going to do a pilot hole. Now moving to the step drill. So since it's kind of tight in there, you just want to make sure that you've got the hole done to the right size so that wire will go through like that, and it does easily. So we're ready to drill the other hole and run the wires up under the seat, so let's take that seat off. Okay, hole's drilled. We're going to clean it up in there a little bit before we move on to the next step here. So we're going to run the wires down on the floor and around the side and up to the 2 holes that we just drilled, but we're also going to, before we feed it through the holes, we're going to feed the wires through grommets, and this will keep water from coming in. So what I recommend is up near, let's see, we're going to come back maybe a foot or so and just put that grommet on like that, and we'll feed that through the hole on the way up. But let me show you that we've got some of our little wire keepers and zip ties that'll hold the wiring down. We're going to put it along the side and up the back so it's nice clean wiring in there and nothing's moving around. So this is the way that we run the wires, keeps it nice and neat and clean. I've got a grommet up here that I've got to kind of lay my back a little bit to get this to go in the hole. You can see the other hole's there, and we're going to run the other wire up through that other hole. So let's get this seat off. We'll start out lifting this flap and then straight down it. If you look at the middle of the back of the seat, straight down here, it's a little hard to see in the picture here, but there's a screw. One screw you take out with a screwdriver. I've already removed it, and then you simply lift up the back of the seat, and then you're going to wiggle and slide it back to get that out. Now, if you've got a heated seat, there'll also be a plug here, so beware of that. Next, we'll take the side cover off, and this just pops off very easily. Set that aside. Once the side cover's off, you want to locate this wire right here. There's a green and black wire going to it. This is what is going to activate the backup lights. This is your backup solenoid. So you just want to take note of this one right here, because we're going to be running the wires up to this for the backup lights. So I've pulled this end of our wiring harnesses through. The two yellow wires you want to bring over to this area, and this is how you're going to work that. So first unplug this, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug this one in here, just like so. And we're going to take the middle one and plug it in here. Now, these leads are going to go into this little clip into here. And there's a special way of doing this to make it really easy for you. So the kit comes with this connector, which this little tab goes into. Now, to be sure you get it into the right spot, it only fits one way into our harness here. Now you'll see the yellow wire where that comes up. There's two options here. You want to put this where the yellow wire is, but be sure to make it easy. If you see how this is flat on the bottom, the flat on the bottom is going to go on the opposite side of where this little tab is, right here. And another way to look at it is right here where they crimp it. You can see there's a little double roll around where they crimp this wire on. That is also going to be facing like this. So you want to make sure you get it like this. Don't snap this in all the way, just have it in partial way. Make sure you're lined up yellow side to yellow side, and then simply just gently push that in until you can feel it snap. Now it's tight. Once you've got this wire in there and it's tight, you want to flip this down, because that crimps it and keeps it from pulling out. Just a little extra security there for you. At this point, we're going to get the back side of the harness hooked up for the run lights and the brake and turn lights, and we will come back to this and tidy everything up and zip tie it to the frame, make sure the wires are good and secure. But right now we're going to hook up the rest of it, and then we put the seat back on and check out our work. Okay, to use our plug and play harness, first you need to locate the rear lighting harness from the bike, and that's right here under your flap, and it's this 6-pin connector right here. You just simply push that in and unplug it, and we're going to plug ours right in line. That one on that side, this one over here, and again we'll tuck that up there and get everything snugged down once we test to make sure everything works properly. And then you simply plug the lights in. Making sure that your left side is going to the left and the right side is going to the right. So before we button everything up in here, let's turn on the bike and check the lights and make sure they all work. Running lights are working. We've got brake lights, right turn, left turn. Those are all working great. We're going to have to start the bike to show you how the backup lights work. Okay, I've replaced the side cover. All right, that seat goes back on. Make sure that you line up the tab in the back there. It slides forward. There you go. We'll put that screw back in the seat and then move to the back side to reinstall all of the internals of the trunk. Okay, we'll throw the trunk liner back in, starting with the back and sides. Again, just fold it up like that and run it in there. This one's pretty simple. Just kind of stands up like so. Just make sure you get it behind the wires that we just ran. There we go. And then this one's a little trickier. This part here sits underneath the flap at the bottom of the door, and that sometimes can be a little trick to get in there. There we go. A couple little love taps. And that one's all in. All right, everything's back together, and as you can see, this is a fabulous way to add some more light. It's really easy to install. Of course, these have a lifetime warranty, and they're available in black or chrome. For more information, just go check out 03d.com.